Now, just imagine you're on the flight from Perth to Brisbane when the captain makes an unexpected announcement. Instead of going home to your families, every person on board will have to do 14 days of snap hotel quarantine, all because your flight was running just 6 hours late.
Well, that is exactly what happened to Brizzy Dad Bree Vickers. He was on board that fateful flight and he joins us now from hotel quarantine. Bree, past couple of days been a bit of a nightmare, hey?
Good morning. Thanks for your time. Look, it has been a little bit rough. I'm not going to lie to you.
Tell me about that flight, because you were running late anyway, and then the flight was delayed, and then you had a long flight. Talk us through your day.
Sure. Look, I was scheduled to fly out of Perth at approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We did receive a text from Virgin that morning saying the flight had been delayed. A little bit later that afternoon, obviously, it hit the news over there that the Western Australian government was ordering a lockdown. So obviously there was some concerns about how we'd get home. But it really was business as usual, very much until we got on the plane. I checked the Queensland Health website prior to boarding. My wife had rung me. She'd also checked the website. And the indication at that point was that when we landed, we'd have to go into 3 days of self-isolation and get a COVID test, which is absolutely fair enough and important. Everybody does the right thing. So everybody got on the flight with that as the understanding. We did land in Brisbane approximately 4.5 hours later, only to be told that we'd all be going to mandatory 14-day hotel quarantine. So it was a really long day, really long day.
How'd you respond when the captain announced that?
Disbelief, and I was probably one of the more measured people, to be honest. There were some people on there that were absolutely flipping out because they were exhausted. They had families to see. There were some workers that had been away for a long period of time from their families and they were absolutely distraught. I think to add insult to injury was the fact that it took them nearly 4.5 hours to process us after that. And some people were allowed to go home and self-isolate. After spending all that time together, some people were determined to be lower risk than others, which was just completely inconsistent and unbelievable.
Hang on, so how do you decide there's one rule for some and another for others?
Look, if you can get to the bottom of that one, I'd be very interested to know.
So just to make it clear to people at home, your flight landed at 1:20 in the morning and the lockdown started at midnight, so you missed it by just over an hour. Now, thankfully, the Premier has relented and she's going to be letting you out later today. That must be a huge relief.
Look, Allison, I'd have to take your word for that. As much as I'd like to praise Queensland Police, the Queensland Health staff and everybody that's running the quarantine here, they've all been wonderful. Nobody's contacted me from Queensland Health to inform me of that. I'm only hearing that from other people.
So no word from hotel staff, no word from anyone in official capacities would go?
Not a word. No, since being told that we were all locked up at the directive of the Chief Health Officer on Friday, we've been given no indication as to when we get out.
I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. I mean, they know where you are. They know where you all are.
Yeah.
For them not to be able to pick up a phone and knock on your door and tell you.
Absolutely. The whole situation is absolutely absurd. I did request to launch an appeal on Friday and I was directed towards the Queensland Health COVID portal. I put in an appeal, received a phone call from a lady at Queensland Health who told me that my appeal had been rejected and that only the Chief Health Officer had the authority to overturn it. I then asked if my appeal had been sent to the Chief Health Officer, which I was told no was the answer. So there's an illusion of an appeal system. So basically they can lock you up now for 14 days and there is absolutely no recourse.
OK, what about, how do you feel about Virgin, given that there was the huge delays in the flight?
Look, obviously very disappointed, but I'm going to stick to the facts, which I know I'm not across everything that happened there. I can only really comment on what I've observed in my time here.
Hey, Bree, I know that that your family has visited the hotel. You've had to sort of wave through a window, we understand. But the idea that you could be out today, and I guess now we need a little bit of clarification on that, the fact that you could be giving them a big hug?
Look, overwhelmed at the possibility. Try not to get too excited though, Allison, because I was looking forward to seeing them on Friday night, to be honest.
There are some blokes out there, not me, who wouldn't mind, you know...
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Like,
Don't.
know what I'm saying?
Mate, there's only so much Netflix you can watch in 4 days. That's all I'll say.
Good on you, Bree. Let us know how you go, champion. Thanks for being with us on the show today, and it's been an awful ordeal. Good on you. Thank you
very much.
I hope he gets home to his family today, and all of them do.
Oh, that is just an awful decision, isn't it?
They need to return their COVID negative test, which is fair enough, but hopefully they'll be home with their families today.
Here, come